world every year since. It took another 3 decades for workers to win the 8-hour working day through struggles with individual companies. Finally, the Adamson Act was passed by Congress in 1916, establishing a statutory 8-hour working day for railway workers and additional pay for overtime. And then on May 1st, 2006, International Workers' Day was reborn in America when millions of people across the United States marched to protest H.R. 4437. Remember that? Which would have criminalized undocumented immigrants and anyone who gave them shelter. The nationwide protests effectively stopped the bill in its tracks. On that day, over 250,000 people marched here in San Jose. 250,000 in what was one of the largest political demonstrations in Northern California's history. And we have been marching every year since. May Day is the day we stand together, empowered as an inclusive community of workers, immigrants, and people struggling for our human rights and human needs. Whose streets? Our streets. Santa Clara Street. Viva Calle. Viva May Day. Viva International Workers' Day. Hoy nos reunimos aquí para conmemorar el 1 de Mayo, o Día Internacional de los Trabajadores, que es feriado en la mayoría de los países del mundo. Los Estados Unidos es una excepción. A pesar de esto, el 1 de Mayo nació en los Estados Unidos a través de la lucha de los trabajadores inmigrantes. En 1884, los sindicatos llamaron una jornada laboral de 8 horas. Cuando se rompieron las conversaciones, se convocó una huelga general en Chicago el 1 de Mayo en 1886. Unos 80,000 trabajadores marcharon por la avenida Michigan de Chicago, en lo que generalmente se reconoce como la primera marcha del 1 de Mayo. En París, en 1889, la Asociación Internacional de los Trabajadores convocó manifestaciones mundiales el 1 de Mayo de 1890 para conmemorar la lucha de los trabajadores de Chicago. Y desde entonces se celebra cada año el 1 de Mayo. Se necesitaron otras 3 décadas para que los trabajadores ganaran la jornada laboral de 8 horas a través de luchas con empresas individuales. Finalmente, la ley Adamson fue aprobada por el Congreso en 1916, estableciendo una jornada laboral legal de 8 horas para los trabajadores ferroviarios con pago adicional por horas extras. El 1 de Mayo de 2006, el Día Internacional de los Trabajadores renació cuando millones de personas en los Estados Unidos marcharon para protestar contra la ley HR 4437, que había criminalizado a los inmigrantes indocumentados y cualquiera que les diera refugio. Las protestas en todo el país efectivamente detuvieron el proyecto de ley en seco. Ese día, más de 250,000 de personas marcharon aquí en San Jose. en lo que fue una de las manifestaciones políticas más grandes en la historia del norte de California. Hemos estado marchando todos los años desde entonces. El 1 de mayo es el día en que nos unimos empoderados como una comunidad inclusiva de trabajadores, inmigrantes y personas que luchan por nuestros derechos humanos y necesidades humanas. ¿De qué son las calles? Nuestras calles. Calle Santa Clara. No es nosotras. Viva calle. Viva el 1 de mayo. Viva el Día de los Trabajadores.
So with that, we're going to talk about the points of unity really quickly, with the reasons why we're here: to save healthcare workers, to protect essential workers, to stop the war on Black America, to stop anti-Asian hate, to end racist oppression, justice for Juan Green, killed by SJPD, protect LGBT civil rights and gender discrimination, abolish kids in cages, fund education, not deportation, healthcare for all, single payer for all. Woo!
And we're also here fighting for affordable housing, ending evictions, ending the sweep, fighting for a living wage for all, the end of wage theft, supporting the ongoing struggle for 15, to end corporate greed, for community control of the police, to defund the police, to fund the people and not the wars, to stop UPS pay cuts, to end union busting, for citizenship for all, and for Viva May Day!
Estamos aquí para proteger a los trabajadores de la salud, a todos los trabajadores esenciales, para parar la guerra en contra de la comunidad negra, para parar el odio en contra de los asiáticos, para terminar la represión, para tener salud para todos los trabajadores, para parar los desalojos, para proteger a los trabajadores y que no les roben sus salarios, y para el 1 de mayo.
And so our next speaker, we will be hearing from Renala, who is a care home worker and a PAWIS member, and will speak about the difficulties she faced as a care home worker during the pandemic. Please welcome Renala.
Hello po, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Happy May Day! Ako po si Renela Placides, kilala bilang Lala. Ako ay isang caregiver at member ng Filipino Association of Workers and Immigrants o PAWIS. Narito ako ngayon upang kumatawan sa international na araw ng uring manggagawa, ang Filipino migrant workers, at ilalahad namin ang aming pakikiisa at pakikibaka ng unang manggagawa sa Pilipinas para sa isang lipunan na nagpapahalaga sa lakas pamuo ng sambayanang Pilipino upang hindi na kailangan mag-ibang bansa ang mga Pilipinong katulad ko. Ako ay naging migrant worker sa pagnanais na magbigyan ko ng magandang kinabukasan ng aking pamilya dahil kulang ang kita ko bilang guro sa Pilipinas para sa basic na pangangailangan ng aking 4 na anak. Ngunit hindi ko inakala na maging biktima pala ako ng human trafficking sa pagpunta ko dito sa US. At hindi lang yon. Ako din ay biktima ng wage theft nang ako ay naging isang live-in caregiver sa isang care home. Akala ko magiging maginhawa ang buhay ko dito sa US. Ngunit mas grabe pa pala ang mapagsamantalang mararanasan ko bilang isang migranteng manggagawa. Mahirap ang buhay ng isang caregiver, lalo na sa panahon ng pandemya. Sa kaso ko, noong 2020, sa simula ng lockdown, kulang na kulang ang PPEs na binibigay ng ating employer. Na-infect din ako ng COVID-19 noong Enero ng taong ito. Napakadelikado sa napakadelikado sa akin dahil ako ay may underlying condition. 3 beses ako nagda-dialysis sa isang linggo dahil sa malalang kalagayan ng aking kidney. Kaya sa araw na ito, muli natin isigaw ang kahalagahan nating mga manggagawa para sa pag-unlad ng ating lipunan. Nabubuhay ang mga tao sa mundo dahil sa lakas ng ating pamuo. Dapat nating ipaglaban ang ating mga karapatan at labanan, ang pagsasamantala at pang-aalipin. Kaya sama-sama nating isigaw, uring manggagawa! Salamat po.
Huwag magpapalaya! Uring manggagawa! And so, English translation. Good day to all of us. I'm Renella Placides, or better known as Lala. I'm a caregiver and member of the Filipino Association of Workers and Immigrants, or BAWIS. I'm here today to represent Filipino migrant workers on International Workers' Day and to also express our solidarity with the struggle of the Filipino working class in the Philippines for a society that values the strength of the labor power of the Filipino people so that Filipinos like me do not need to work overseas. I became a migrant worker because of my desire to provide a better future for my family, because my income as a teacher in the Philippines was very low for the basic needs of my 4 children. But I never thought I would become a victim of human trafficking when I came to the U.S. And not only that, I was also a victim of wage theft when I became a lived-in caregiver in a care home. I thought my life would be comfortable here in the U.S., but the exploitation I would experience as a migrant worker was even worse. The life of a caregiver is difficult, especially during a pandemic. In my case, in 2020, at the start of the lockdown, the PPEs provided by my employer were sorely lacking. I was also infected with COVID in January of this year. It was very dangerous for me because I have an underlying condition. I have dialysis 3 times a week because of my severe kidney condition. So today, let us once again proclaim the importance of the work of workers for the development of our society. People in this world depend on the strength of the working class. We must fight for our rights and struggle against exploitation and slavery. So let us shout together, working class, uring manggagawa, hubong magpapalaya. Thank you very much.
So, rápidamente en español, soy trabajadora y participante de PAWIS, soy trabajadora del hogar. Como mujer inmigrante, era maestra en mi país. Cuando llegué a este país, no pensé que iba a enfrentar la explotación, el tráfico humano y el robo de salarios. Soy trabajadora inmigrante durante la pandemia. No me protegieron como trabajador. Me enfermé del COVID y voy a diálisis 3 veces a la semana. Eso fue muy peligroso para mí. Estoy aquí para declarar la solidaridad con los filipinos de las Filipinas y con los trabajadores de este país. Proclamamos el poder de los trabajadores porque nosotros somos los que creamos el futuro. Next, I introduce Jean Cohen, the Executive Director of the South Bay Central Labor Council. Because above everything in this valley, we are workers!
Good afternoon. Happy May Day. My name is Jean Cohen and I represent 100,000 working men and women, and we are here to celebrate as workers are celebrating in the world today to remind everybody that dignity, compassion, and respect are the foundation for the community that everybody wants to live in. The pandemic forcefully brought home both the importance of essential workers to our whole society, and it also made clear how little protections, self-determination, or basic respect workers are given, especially workers of color and women. And working people are organizing, and making tangible changes. And we're utilizing our collective power. And you are utilizing your collective power to make change every day. Nurses, teachers, electricians, healthcare workers, construction workers, public healthcare workers. I see AFSCME and SEIU and the operating engineers and the IBEW here. And I want to give a shout out to the fast food workers. It is a shame that we are fighting for $15 an hour in Silicon Valley. It is an absolute shame. And we're going to fight every day until everyone is making a fair wage to ensure that their families can pay rent, have enough food to eat, and ensure that everybody has a safe community to live in. We are in the midst of a new movement, a vibrant, effective, and disruptive movement. Who is ready to join? Who is part of this movement? What we know is that dignity and survival are the catalyst for new ways of thinking and being in the world. May Day is a reminder that our liberation and our survival are taking on overlapping challenges, struggles of race, the environment, gender, economics. The feeling of powerful and being powerful are the difference between having a vision and achieving it, and we are going to achieve this vision together. May Day is a reminder that every day is a fight to achieve dignity and respect for all working people. When I say worker, you say power. Worker! 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 Happy May Day.
Estoy aquí para reconocer a los trabajadores de este valle. Hay más de 100,000 trabajadores en los sindicatos. Estamos aquí para mostrar nuestro poder colectivo. Estamos aquí para reconocer a las enfermeras, a las maestras, a los trabajadores de la luz, a los trabajadores de la comida rápida. Estamos aquí para recordar que estamos en un movimiento nuevo. ¿Quién está con nosotros en este movimiento nuevo? Estamos aquí en este 1 de mayo para reconocer que nos liberamos juntos, que sobrevivimos juntos, que estamos conectados y que los trabajadores merecen la dignidad y el respeto siempre.
The next speaker we will have is Nora, who is a janitor and SEIU USWW member, who will speak about her work as an essential worker and the difficulties she has faced.
Buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Nora Morales. Soy una trabajadora de limpieza y miembro del líder del sindicato SIU. Los puestos de consejería generalmente están ocupados por comunidades de color e inmigrantes. Trabajamos para todas las empresas Fortune 500 en Silicon Valley. Hemos trabajado durante la pandemia exponiéndonos con el COVID-19, mientras en otros tuvieron el privilegio de trabajar desde la comodidad de su casa. Somos trabajadores esenciales, capaces, competentes y calificados, que son la columna vertebral de todas las empresas. Y hoy estamos aquí celebrando, porque sin nuestro arduo trabajo las corporaciones no podrían funcionar correctamente. Entonces, hermanos y hermanas, miembros, nos reunimos hoy para celebrar a los trabajadores de todas las elecciones que se llevarán a cabo el 7 de junio. Necesitamos un líder en el cargo que nos represente y ponga en alto nuestros valores, que se asegure de que seamos respetados, protegidos, no solo en el lugar de trabajo, sino también en nuestras comunidades. Esa persona es Cindy Chávez. Si es elegida, será la primera latina en ser alcaldesa de San José. Ella usará su posición en el cargo para representar a las clases trabajadoras. ¡Sí se puede! ¡Por Cindy Chávez! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede!
Good afternoon. I'm going to translate for Nora. Nora Morales is a janitorial worker and member leader of SEIU USWW. Janitorial positions are generally filled by people of color and immigrant communities. We work for every Fortune 500 company in Silicon Valley. We've worked throughout the pandemic, exposing ourselves to COVID-19, while others have the privilege to work from the comfort of their own homes. We are essential, resilient, empowered, and skilled workers who are the backbone of every company. And today we are here to celebrate us, because without our hard work, corporations wouldn't be able to function properly. So brothers and sisters, as we gather today to celebrate workers across the country, we also need to focus on the elections happening on June 7th. We need a leader in office who's going to represent us and our values. Someone who will ensure that we are respected and protected, not only in the workplace, but in our communities. That person is Cindy Chavez. If elected, she'll be the first Latina to be the mayor of San Jose, and she will use her position in office to represent the working class. Que vivan los trabajadores.
Our next speaker is Maria Yolanda, fast food worker and member of Fight for 15.
Hello, my name is Maria White Torres. I have worked at Subway for 5 years, and I represent the collective struggle of thousands of fast food workers. On this day, May Day, people of all ethnicities join together and celebrate the working class and the worker resistance. The cashiers, cooks, and essential workers, the workers feeding America, the workers multitasking in the drive-thru, those working double shifts, working in their feet for 8 to 10 hours without a single break. Those working because they aren't given sick pay. Workers covering full-time hours without any health insurance. Workers with sweaty brows and aching feet. At my store, workers miss their breaks because the store is understaffed. We had to fight for our right to take breaks and use sick pay hours. We were told by our boss that we could not take our breaks if the store was busy. We were not allowed to eat during our 10 minutes breaks. We even had to go on a strike for wage theft because our boss won't give us 6 hours like the law says. Today, we need to be reminded of those who dedicate their lives to worker rights, to worker solidarity. And because to create a real change, we... From one to another, we have an opportunity to improve working conditions for fast food workers with AB 257, the Fast Food Recovery, the Fast Recovery Act, that we hold corporations accountable after years of ignoring the working people. With this bill, corporations making millions off the backs of workers will finally held accountable by hearing from workers directly. Workers will have a seat at the table to bring urgent issues that are happening in our stores and present real solutions to problems that will benefit the workers and the bosses they work for. We will not stay quiet while corporations benefit from our work, while we get poverty wages in return. We have $15, but in this state is not enough. We need more. We will not stay quiet while our bosses humiliate and intimidate us. Today we will celebrate the lives of working class, the power of our voices, and our dreams of equality. We can do it! We can do it! We can do it! We can do it! Hola, mi nombre es María Yolanda Torres. Trabajo en un Subway Subway desde hace 5 años y represento la lucha colectiva de miles de trabajadores de comida rápida. En este día, 1 de mayo, personas de todas las etnias se unen y celebran la clase obrera y la resistencia obrera. Los cajeros, los cocineros, los trabajadores esenciales, los trabajadores que alimentan América, los trabajadores que realizan múltiples tareas en el autoservicio, los que trabajan turnos dobles, los que trabajan de 8 a 10 horas sin ningún descanso, los que trabajan enfermos porque no reciben pago por enfermedad, los trabajadores que cubren horas de tiempo completo sin ningún seguro médico, trabajadores con cejas sudorosas y pies adoloridos. En mi tienda, los trabajadores perdieron sus descansos porque la tienda no tiene suficiente personal. Tuvimos que luchar por nuestro derecho a tomar descansos y usar las horas de pago por enfermedad. Nuestros jefes nos dijeron que no podíamos tomar descansos si la tienda estaba ocupada. No se nos permitía comer durante nuestros descansos de 10 minutos. Incluso tuvimos que ir a huelga por robo de salario, porque nuestro patrón no nos daba las horas de enfermedad como dice la ley. Hoy debemos recordar a todos aquellos que dedican su vida a los derechos de los trabajadores, la solidaridad laboral y la lucha por la libertad. Porque para crear un cambio real necesitamos la ayuda de todos los demás, de todos. Tenemos la oportunidad de mejorar las condiciones laborales de los trabajadores de comida rápida con la AB 257, la Ley de Recuperación Rápida, que responsabilizará a las corporaciones después de años de ignorar y abusar a los trabajadores. Con este proyecto de ley, las corporaciones que ganan millones a costa de los trabajadores finalmente tendrán que rendir cuentas al escuchar directamente a los trabajadores. Los trabajadores tendrán un asiento en la mesa para traer problemas urgentes que están pasando en nuestras tiendas y presentar soluciones reales a problemas que beneficiarán a los trabajadores y a los jefes para los que trabajan. No nos quedaremos callados mientras las corporaciones se benefician de nuestro trabajo, mientras obtenemos salarios de miseria. No nos quedaremos callados mientras nuestros jefes nos intimidan y nos humillan. Hoy celebraremos la vida de la clase trabajadora, el poder de nuestras voces y nuestros sueños de igualdad. ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede!
Thank you, Maria, for being able to talk about the struggles of the fast food workers and reminding us about the importance of, as workers, raising our voices and fighting for our struggles. Whether we be fast food workers, whether we be caregivers, whether we are janitors, us as workers keep society running. And so we deserve to have our rights respected. We deserve decent working conditions. We deserve decent wages. We don't deserve to have our wages stolen. And so for our next speaker, I'd like to bring up Maria from Luna, who will speak on environmental justice.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es María C. Estoy aquí para leer una historia. En 1986, perdón, voy a hablar en inglés. In 1996, I arrived to San Jose, to the United States in Mountain View. And I really want to buy a house, but the bank told me I could not qualify. So, why? Because they don't want to neighborhood to have a colored people in that area. They want to keep like a only angle. So what I did, I find another place to go because that's what they suggest me. So I arrived to the East San Jose. So by the Hillview Airport. by the one of those aeroplane crashed in Evelyn Avenue. That is my avenue. So I would like to ask to the committee to have a close that airport because they have a lot of problems in that area. We have a contamination, and I think we need everybody to help us to close the airport. And I'm going to translate it in Spanish as well. En 1986 llegué a los Estados Unidos en Mountain View, California. Quise comprar casa allí y se me negó. El banco dijo que no podía calificar. So, no me di por vencida, busqué otros lugares que me sugirieron. Encontré casa en San José, cerca donde está el aeropuerto Hillview, y donde se estrelló un avión en la avenida Evelyn. So, le pido a todos los miembros que dirigen esta corporación de pilotos que por favor se cierre el aeropuerto lo más pronto que se pueda, porque está dañando a mucha gente alrededor de la área. La área ya está contaminada. Creo que no necesitamos más plomo de lo que ya tenemos. Necesitamos que nos escuchen. Y les pido, por favor, que se unan y que se comprometan a ayudarnos en esta causa y que luchen con nosotros. Gracias.
So first of all, thank you to all our speakers. I have been asked to mention that as a coalition, we don't support any candidates in particular. Obviously, everyone has the right to their own opinion. We are going to start the march. Kaupuli Tonaleke will lead the march. Then we'll be followed by the banner. And then we ask you to try to partner in 2 to 3 people, 4 people to make the march long. But before we start, I do want to ask for one moment of silence for all the workers that have been forced to sacrifice their lives to keep this country functioning. So, antes de empezar, quiero que tomemos un momento de silencio para todos los trabajadores que han sido forzados a sacrificar sus vidas para sostener a este país durante esta pandemia. So, we'll start now. So with that, que vivan los trabajadores. With that, long live the country.
And just for the order, we're going to, everyone will have the dancers will be going, so everyone go behind the dancers. It'll be the dancers